Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to have another play with our scrapbook, collage scrapbook that we've created. So again, I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I just want to give you, different ideas that you can do with your scrapbook. So I've looked through. If you've seen my other videos, obviously you'll know, the pages, so I don't need to keep boring you, showing you the same old pages again. But what I've done, I've decided that I'm going to use this page. So again, I'm just going to tear it out the book. I love how they're just contained in the book like that. And what I thought we would do is work with, you may have caught my video where we created this long snippet roll. I have created a couple more of these actually off camera, but I haven't finished them yet. I haven't stitched them or anything. But this was the one that I think we did together on camera, if I recall. So when I was looking through to decide, what to do for my next video, I thought, well, actually, colour-wise, this goes really beautifully with this collage page. So I thought we would just literally have a play to give you some other ideas of what to do. Obviously, in the last one, we were talking about, the ability to just kind of contain all your stuff to be able to craft on the go, or, in different rooms, like if you're watching TV and things. So obviously this one, if you made one of these snippet rolls, and I did see Sagita made one of these using masking tape. I had used that Tyvek tape as my base. And this was not my idea. I had got this from Emily from Emephemeras Treasures. So yeah, I just used this. Emily had used a cash register receipt roll, and Sagita used some, masking tape. So you can use whatever that you've got. I mean, you could just use book pages and join them together. I liked the fact that this was sticky. So actually a lot of my pieces then were just stuck straight onto here. I personally didn't have a problem with stitching over the Tyvek. You can see here, I mean, obviously at the top it's not over the Tyvek because I trimmed it down, but at the bottom it has gone through it, and touch wood, it was fine. And I am not the best sewer in the world, but I didn't have any problems. But play around and kind of see what works best for you. Might do some more of these with you guys, because of course we're just in crafting, so it's not like there's a lot else to do at the moment, and they're really fun to make. And of course as well, they get rid of a lot of things from your desk. So enough waffling now. What I thought we would do is just again continue in the same vein and just make some pieces from this collage board that we've got here. So I might just use, in the first instance, I might just use this section here. Now, obviously, as you can see, this was a large piece of this green paper. So, I mean, it's pretty much, quite plainish, if you see what I mean. But I'm just going to cut that down like that. And I'm going to, I think, have it sideways on. So, hideous cutting again there. So if you've got pieces that aren't particularly glued down, like here, where it's not glued down, that's fine. You can just run around with your glue, just to make sure that they're glued down at the edges. Not a problem there. Because obviously, unless you've used like a glue stick, it may be that you have got, edges that are going to come up. Okay. Check that it's all stuck down, and then I'm just going to trim it along what will effectively be the top, because I'm going to have this way on. Yeah, I thought it would be quite a nice video to do using these snippets, because I know that we'd obviously made these, but I hadn't, we hadn't then revisited and done anything showing the types of thing that I would maybe use them for. I mean, this particular piece actually goes beautifully with pretty much, everywhere I place this, it looks pretty good. But I think I will just start at this end, because this piece just fits really perfectly on there. So all I'm going to do is just cut this down now, here, like that. Okay, So, I mean, they're really handy to make, and I will try and remember to link the the snippet roll video that we did. I'll try and remember to link that onto this video. So that's how it would look, and I'm just going to obviously glue this onto here. Now, just checking whether I want to put anything else on. I might like some more lace or something. Well, I mean, we can obviously never have enough lace, can we? So, never too much lace. Let's just see. I'm just seeing what scraps I've got laying about. So we could have that there, or maybe down here. Obviously, this one I haven't, incorporated some lace in there, stitched along. So, it's already got a little bit of lace, but I might just pop another little bit of lace down the bottom of the piece as well. So, like that, I think. Yeah, so I'm just going to literally stick that onto there. So all I'm going to do is take my, obviously, wet glue and just pop the whole thing onto, that background page. Whoops, should have really cut that thread, but never mind, I can do that in a moment. So I just want to give you a few different ideas, really, of, using your collage books. And I just thought this would be a nice thing to do, because we hadn't revisited this snippet roll anyway. So, I was aware that I still had that, sat sort of waiting to do something more with it. I had created another one, which I'd already used in a journal, but I didn't do that on camera. I have shown the journal since, but I hadn't shown the snippets being used on camera specifically. And I'm just going to trim that down now here at the side, like that. Whoops. Like that. And then I'm just going to trim it down here on this side as well, like that. And again, obviously I can just trim this one across there. I mean, again, I have to say, like, weirdly, I love how that snippet roll turned out. And so along with the collage book, there's a tendency to now want to hoard the snippet roll. I mean, honestly, what is going on? Where I'm not only wanting to hoard the snippet roll, I'm wanting to hoard the collage book. What is going on? So for me, it's just better to, like, pretty much as soon as I've made something, use it straight away. Use it and then, get rid of it before I end up not getting rid of it ever. And it will just be endlessly in my house, Endlessly. And the worst of it is, it would be endlessly in my house, and then I probably would never really look at it, because obviously I would have moved on and done some other projects and forgotten all about it, Oh, I don't know what goes on in my mind, but there we go. I'm sure I'm not alone with these types of things. So I'm just going to ink around everywhere. And obviously, again, this could probably do with a bit of extra glue here. So I just stick that down. That was the snippet coming up, not the collage. So we just go round like that. Okie dokie. So how gorgeous does that look? And I mean, how simple was that to put together? So I might just pop some lace here at the bottom. Bottom or top? Oh, I don't know now. I like it in both places. Oh, decisions. I will maybe put it at the top, only because if I pop this onto a page, I would possibly have like a ruffle or something there anyway. So, it may be that would be kind of covered anyway. So just going to use my hot glue like that. Just pop that lace, pop that lace down like that. Okay. And of course, let's have some bling, because, oh, what's life without bling? It's just no fun. Life without bling would be just no fun, wouldn't it? So let's just take a little bit here. Okay, just chop that down. So I just put that bling up there, or we could have it sort of more here really. Although that's like where that's kind of crooked, it looks just like it's plonked in the middle of nowhere then, so that's a little bit strange. Might have some on the butterfly as well. So, oops, just going to have some over here. Just pop that down. Oh my gosh, come on. Oh, just pop that down here. Well, like that. And then just a bit on that butterfly. Now that butterfly is a little bit bigger. I was wondering whether it could take 3, but actually I think it still can only take 2. So we just pop that down on there like that. Okay. Okie dokie. So, I mean, how simple, seriously, was that? I mean, I know obviously we have done work on that, if you see what I mean, because we obviously did the work on the collage page in the first instance, and we'd done the work on the snippet roll in the first instance. But, you know, just those couple of things, how beautiful is that as a little pocket piece on a page? So again, I would just then glue around the 3 sides and have that as a top loading pocket. And it's just gorgeous, isn't it? So that's kind of my first one. So I'm just going to pop it to one side, and I'm going to keep all the ones that we do. And then we can have a look at these, kind of revisit them like at the end of, you know, the sort of sequence of videos, and see what we've made. Now I might have a bit more problem with incorporating the yellow. I've got to be truthful, because there's nothing much yellowy here. There is this, but for me, I'm a bit thrown by that flower then. Oh, that's quite nice against the yellow, funnily enough. That section there. Oh, that looks nice there. Right, so I'm going to just chop this one down here. Like that. And again, you know, anywhere where your collage is just peeling up a little bit. I mean, this obviously is like a strip on the edge. So, I mean, I could have just actually got rid of it completely. Probably just peeled it off. Or you can obviously glue it back down. Like that. Okay. So I'm just going to, I think, probably trim it in slightly, you know, widthways. But just before I do that, I'm just going to check how this looks. I want it there or there. Ooh. Again, it's one of those where actually every time I put something down on here, I think, oh, that's nice, that's nice, that's nice. So now I'm struggling with which piece looks nicest. I had initially thought this, but now I'm thinking more this. Yeah. So again, just decide kind of where to snip that. So I might just snip it off here. So I'm missing that Eiffel Tower altogether, like that. Like that. Again, just move my roll out of the way. And obviously anywhere where your snippet roll's not stuck down, i.e., you know, it's been stitched and it's obviously stuck on some of the Tyvek but not on other bits, you can just now go and just dab under a little bit of glue under there, and that just then obviously will just pop that down into place. So that's it. Okay, again, just get rid of those extra threads. So like that. Seem to have threads everywhere, just keep appearing. So if I have that on that side, so I just want to see whether I want anything else. So I've still got my little bag of goodies that we had from the last time, and actually I've got this butterfly here. which looks quite a good colour for this. So I'm just going to fussy cut this butterfly out. Like that. Okay. Oh, I didn't make a very good job of cutting that butterfly out. He's a bit strange shape now. Oh well. He's probably good enough. We can see what he's meant to be, can't we? That's good enough. So yeah, I might have that butterfly on there somewhere. So I'm just going to ink the butterfly up a little bit. Just by inking it, it just disguises any scruffy, shoddy cutting as well. So it's a good way to hide any shoddiness. And I'm just going to trim it down here slightly, just to tidy it up a little bit around the edges like that. Okay, and then I'm going to pop that on there. And the butterfly we're going to have here. Do we want it? I wonder if we want a dictionary definition or something. Let's just have a look. Or we could have one of our little number pieces. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Let me just ink this up. Oh gosh, what horrible inking today going on there. So we could have the number. Could have it just poking out sort of there or something. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Yeah, I love that. So again, just pop this down using the wet glue. Okay. And then this one here. Probably want it a bit higher so as I'm not covering up completely. Yeah, probably a bit higher. So I'm just going to glue this one down, and then I would trim off around the edge because obviously I'd done some horrible cutting there. To be fair, it's only that bad because obviously I had to cut around that Eiffel Tower piece. So that's why it's looking really, really bad. It wasn't necessarily that my cutting was just really skew-iff. I'm not saying it wouldn't be, because there are times when it is, but that particular piece, that's why that's so lopsided like that. So we just stick that one down there like that. And then obviously I'll trim that up in a moment. And we're going to have the butterfly here as well. Now, I just wonder whether I want to incorporate some more of those flowers, because I've got some of those flowers, I think, in my bag of tricks here, that obviously from the last video. They're not the same, are they? They're not the same, no. Oh gosh, come on. Okay. They're the same. They're the same, but huge. Nope, we don't want such huge flowers on there. That's just very strange. Oh well, maybe we won't have the extra flowers, because I'm sure you don't want to sit here while I just rummage and rummage and rummage trying to find them. Oops, I might have some. No, that's the same ones. Oh gosh, what on earth? Oh, I must have not bought many of those ones along. Got those and those, but they're kind of the same ones. So I mean, I've got those, which are obviously smaller, slightly different. I mean, we could still have those, but to be honest, is that just getting really fussy? Does it look like, you know, overdose of flowers? Oh well, more is more, isn't it, as we always say. So let's just put them on. Let's let's just go for it. Let's have an overdose of flowers. Who cares? I mean, spring's on its way after all, so, you know, it might be nice, mightn't it, to have an overdose of flowers. So let's just pop those on. Like that. And as we said yesterday, or, you know, in the last video, you can always then go round the edge of your piece with, you know, with your sewing machine and stitch everything really nicely. That would also be, you know, nice to do. And things like here, you could leave those flowers hanging or you can trim them down. I'm going to just trim them off. But, you know, leaving them on would be nice too. Okay. Oh. Now we need to tidy up that bottom bit, which is now no longer straight again. Oh, well. That looks okay now. Right. So I'm just going to ink around the entire thing again. Well, not again, I haven't done this piece, but okay, just take that bit down the side. Right, and then we'll just pop our butterfly on here. There, or there. Oh, let's just pop him on there, otherwise I'm going to be here all day moving him from one side to the other side, you know, and as if it's really making such a big difference, to be honest. It's just not, is it? Just not making a big difference at all. Right. And I'm just going to finish it off with a bit of lace. So I might just even have just a tiny bit down here. Let's just trim that down. And I'll just cut that in half. Oops. Okay. Down there or up here or somewhere else. Somewhere random. No, I like it down there. I think. Let's have it over there. So I'm just going to pop that down like that. Okay, and then again just get some bling. Okay. Just finish that off with some bling there in the corner, I think. Okay. Do I want any bling on that butterfly? No, it might be too much. Might be too much. Do I want another butterfly? I know I've just said, oh, it might be too much, but now I'm wondering whether I wanted to have a little butterfly at the top. No, I'm not going to. That's just going overboard, isn't it? But I am just going to trim that down slightly at that edge. Okay. So that's another piece then that again, you know, you could either cover the back with some plain paper and have it as a journaling card, or obviously just, you know, glue it down sort of along three sides and have it as a little pocket on a page like that. So really pretty. Oh gosh, I hope that I was in frame there because I now looked and it was quite off the edge. So yeah, hopefully you were able to actually see that one. So again, if you've got any bits that just need a bit of extra glue, then you can obviously glue them down now. I mean, I might not bother because, to be honest, this is attached obviously with the Tyvek and the stitch, so it should be fine. But that's kind of another two there. So we'll do another one or two from obviously what we've got left from that sheet. Okay, I must make sure that I am properly in frame now because I'm not sure whether I was like off hanging slightly. Right, so what I thought we'll do this time is make like a journaling card. So just decide which side that we'll do that from. Well, perhaps we'll do that here with the, I was was going to say with the yellow, I don't want to cut that butterfly in half. Well, I guess if I cut it directly in half, it won't be so bad, to be fair. Oh, I don't know now. Oh, should we go for it? Should we just cut the butterfly in half, or shall we get rid of it up here? Then that's going to be a humongous journaling card, isn't it, if I have it like that width. Oh, let's just do this and... oh, decisions. Let's just... oh, sorry, butterfly. We're just chopped in half now. Right, never mind. So all I'm going to do is trim this down, and I'm going to trim it down so that I get that yellow there. And then obviously I'm going to trim this down. So I'm just going to glue this onto, I just dug out some, you know, neutral type paper. So I'm, as you can see, it's a bit scrumpled up. It's been laying around under my desk. So I'm just going to glue this down onto here. Like that. Okay. So we'll just glue that down here. Now this paper actually was from my Gosford Green series that I did. It was just like an overspill of when I was trying to get my printables how I wanted them. So it has got a little bit of green, but other than that it's pretty neutral. But I don't mind that because obviously this has got green as well. So just going to trim it down here. Now obviously this is just copy paper weight, if you see what I mean. Which for me that feels quite thin for a journaling card because I'm a bit of a sort of on cardboard really. Well, not cardboard, but you know, cardstock, I guess, ordinarily for journaling cards. But because this is obviously got, it's got copy paper, then it's got obviously the book page, and then it's got the collage items, and then it's going to have the snippet roll. It will hopefully thicken it up, so it will feel like a thicker piece than it ordinarily would have done. So I'll just trim that round like that. Oops. See, like there, I lost a bit of that collage because obviously it was, you know, right on the sort of edge. But, you know, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Okay. So that looks quite nice just like that, to be honest. I'm going to have this on here. Oops, more of those threads, look. Let me move these right out of the way so they don't keep flapping into the screen. So if I have that on there, I might just round the corners of this one, I think, if it's going to be a journaling card. So, sorry, every time I put it down, I think, oh, it's not straight. Oh well. That's probably as straight as it's going to get. So just round the corners. Oops. I think the glue was probably a bit wet in this corner, so I think that's probably why it didn't really round very well there. Just trim that up. Okay. And that I'm going to have there. And then what we could do is have something like a word or something on here. So I've got some of my words here. So should we just have, oh, let's have believe in your dreams. Just tear those down so they're not so big on the desk. Tear that around like that. Yeah, I think it might be time to make some more of those snippet rolls, to be honest, because they are so fun to make. Like, really enjoyed making those. I've only made 4, so far, because I made obviously the one with you guys. I'd already made one previously, and then I've made 2 since. But they're just really fun, and I love how they look. As I say, I am then a little bit in danger of hoarding them, but if I try and get rid of them as quick as I can, you know, use them as quick as I can, then hopefully it will stop me from hoarding them too much. But yeah, they're definitely very fun to make. So okay, and I'm just going to ink up this piece. I don't know why I'm suddenly inking this all separately as opposed to once it's all glued down. No idea why suddenly I did that, but that's just how it went that time. And then we're going to have Believe in Your Dreams down there, I think. Yep, so I like how that looks. Let's just pop this down here. Okay. Okie dokie. Pop that down. Like that. And again, you know, as we said before, I mean, you can then stitch around the edge of this if you want to. You know, would look pretty nice with some stitching. Just having to press that down quite a lot because that glue doesn't seem to be sticking so quickly, although they seem to have changed it. I'm not sure whether it's quite back to how it was, but it certainly seems better than they changed it to, I think. And funny enough, I was watching Yvonne Preston the other day, and I noticed that she said about the glue. And I thought, oh, thank goodness somebody else has noticed that the glue has changed, because you begin to wonder whether it's just you, don't you? And you think, am I imagining this, or, you know, have they changed the glue when like nobody else seems to be mentioning it? Because I mean, certainly over here, I think it's quite a popular glue, so you'd kind of expect like other people to possibly be mentioning it from time to time. But where nobody was, I kept thinking, well, it's just my imagination. But she mentioned it in a video. So, yeah, it's not my imagination. They definitely had changed the glue. I'm just going to pop that number there. I don't know why, but for some reason it looks quite nice there. And I think I didn't really like that bright yellow just poking out. It sort of didn't really work for me. Yeah, so it was nice to hear her say that she had also noticed that the glue had changed. And I think she did actually say she was going to write to them and, you know, email them and ask, you know, I don't know whether she was going to ask why they've changed the glue, or, you know, to change it back, hopefully to change it back. Oh, it just is so irritating, but yeah. This seems a little bit better, so whether or not they have changed it back, I don't know whether, you know, maybe they were just having a problem with their supply chain or something like that and couldn't get hold of their usual ingredients or recipe, or I don't know. Or, you know, I mean, I thought perhaps regulations had changed and they had to swap out something for something else, but, you know, maybe they were having problems, you know, getting hold of something, I don't know. But, yeah, this one seems a little bit more like the old stuff. I'm not saying it seems quite so stickable. Well, it is sticking, it's just taking longer to dry. So I'm not saying it's quite back to as it was, but I would say it's better than it had changed to, because it was really, yeah, deteriorated in my opinion. You know, it suddenly was taking forever to actually stick, whereas before it was really pretty good and stuck pretty quickly. So we'll just pop this bit of lace here. Oh gosh. Oh, God knows what I'm knocking over there every time I'm touching my glue gun. It seems to be dragging something in with it. Okay, so that's that one. And oh, let's have a bit of bling, because, you know, why wouldn't we? I don't know whether I want this black bling actually, or whether I might prefer the, you know, that gold one. Let's just try this and see. Oh, I do always love the black, to be fair. You know, as soon as you put it there, it's like, oh, that's really nice. I have got this actual gold, which is all gold rather than like gold edges with silver bits. That's quite nice, isn't it? Let's have a look. I might prefer that there maybe on this one. Oh, I will put it at the top only because I think this is likely to be tucked into a pocket. So, you know, because we made this a journaling card. So if I put it there, it would kind of maybe get it, you know, hooked on the pocket. I'm just going to rummage around and see whether I can find any of the gold with the, like, you know, silver inside, because I just want to check how that looks as opposed to this. Oh, I might not be able to, because I might not be able to now find it in any sort of timely manner. Oh, no. Hate it when you want to try something and then you can't find it. Oh, what's this? See? Just a piece laying around there. I knew I'd have some somewhere. This is just a bit more subtle than the like all gold, I think. So yeah, I'll just go for that. Right. Pop that on. Like that. Okay. Okie dokie, so that's another one done. I'll pop that out of the way. So then we've just got this piece left now from our collage sheet from that one. So again, I'm just going to pull that snippet roll back in. So I mean, I've still got quite a bit of that snippet roll left, you know, plenty to make other things with. Now let's have a look and see where, you know, which section we would like to use. I'm kind of thinking we will just use this. I mean, I could go for this one, which I rather like, but obviously then I'm cutting it, you know, and just using the middle bit. It's quite nice to just, you know, use it along, isn't it, in order, as it were. So I'm going to cut this down here, hopefully, like that. Okay. Like that. And we're just going to have that on there like that, I think. Yep. Okay. So, and to be honest, I mean, that just looks good, you know, as it is. It really doesn't particularly need anything much else going on there. So we'll just glue this one down. So again, I mean, like we said, you know, this is so super simple. I mean, talk about easy peasy way to make your pockets and bits. I mean, like we said, you have done the hard work. It's not like you've done nothing and they've come together. You've made these other bits individually beforehand. But it definitely, with regards to then going forward, is making it super simple. Now I might just run some hot glue along here, because I haven't got any of my Fabri-Tac at the moment. I'm just going to make sure that that's going to stick down properly. Okay. So just pop that down there like that. Okay. Yep, like how that looks. So I'm just going to now trim it around the edges to tidy it up slightly. There, and then if I move that lace a little bit, that bottom was not particularly straight, so just trim along there a little bit. It's even worse now. It wasn't straight before, it's even worse now. I probably should have actually straightened it up before sticking the piece on, shouldn't I? The reason I didn't is because I wanted to make sure I didn't make it smaller than the piece, if you see what I mean. So I thought, oh, I'll stick the piece on and then I'll trim it down after. But yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I probably should have done it first. But never mind, it's, you know, it still worked fine. So again, anywhere where it's not then quite stuck down, you know, albeit either the snippet or the collage itself, you can just obviously go around and just touch it up a little bit. So like here, I've got a little bit of that collage that's not stuck down. So I'll just then pop that down like that. Just go around and check everything else. So here at the top, just going to run a little bit of glue in there. Like that. I mean, like I say, unless you're going to be using the glue stick or something, the chances are when you cut your collage page down, you're going to have the odd bit, you know, that's not quite stuck. I mean, I don't mind going around the edges, you know, it's not really a problem. But I suppose it's just something to bear in mind. Okay, so I'm just going to trim that down here slightly because that also didn't look very straight to me. Like that. Okay, so love how that looks now. And I'm just going to, again, just ink that up a bit. Again, I've gone back to now inking it as a whole. So who knows why I suddenly inked that other bit separately. Maybe I did it because I'd stuck the, you know, the background sheet on. I don't know. I don't know. But I guess that's the thing with crafting, isn't it? I don't know about you guys, but I don't necessarily have like a fixed way of, oh, I do this same method every single time. You know, I might do it this way one time and, you know, a different way another time. And that's fine, isn't it, to mix it up. Right, let me just check here and see whether I want like a butterfly or anything else just in this little space here. I've got some labels. I could have a label there. I thought that label would just slot in behind that clock, but it just doesn't quite. Is that label a bit monstrous on there? It is, isn't it? Even cut down, that would be a bit on the big side, I think. Got a couple of other bits. I've got some dictionary definitions, or I've got some smaller labels. You see, although I like that, it's looking in a long line here, like a little train. So that's putting me off a little bit. So I don't think I would do that after all. No. A dictionary definition up there. Might be a little bit big. Hold on. Just see what else I've got here in my little pile of goodies. I mean, I've just literally got these here to save me digging around for other things. You know, in the hopes that actually I can just make do with all what's here. I've got this butterfly. Perhaps we should just... You see, I have brought along, you know, literally loads of stuff here. But you know what I didn't bring along? I didn't bring along any of my butterflies. I've only got the butterflies from the Curator's collections. I haven't got any of my other butterflies here. And what would be nice there is one of those other butterflies, wouldn't it? So you see, you can just bring along all sorts of stuff and still you're not going to have the one thing that you really want, are you? I wonder if I've just got one here laying around at the side, because I often do just happen to have one laying about. Oh, I often do, but yeah, not today. Not today. Right, okay, let me just quickly grab my little album thing from behind me. So you're not missing anything. I'm literally just digging out a couple of butterflies, that's all. So I've got that one. Or, oh, I thought I actually had some ready cut out, but of course, no, I don't have. Oh, goodness me. Sorry, I'm just now literally waffling along to myself. Just, yeah. For no particular reason other than like, oh my gosh, why do I never have the bits I need? There we go. I knew I must have at least one ready cut out to be able to spare you guys, you know, with me cutting one out. So there we go. And actually, as it happens, it's pretty good colour-wise, isn't it? So again, I'm just going to just ink that up a bit. Like that. And that just fills that little blank space really nicely. So yeah, I'm just going to pop that on there. Like that. Okay, and then should we just have a bit of bling maybe here on this one, I think. So this will help to just stick that lace down, hopefully. So just pop that there. That would just sort of stick that lace onto the card beneath, or you know, the paper piece beneath. There we go. So that's another piece done from one of our collage pages. So I'm just going to clear the deck here a little bit, clear the deck, and bring in the 4 pieces that we've made using that collage page and that snippet roll. So, sorry, let me get my space a little bit clearer for you guys to see, otherwise it must just look like a complete mess when you're looking down on the screen. There we go, and those are the 4 that we've made today. So, I mean, I just think beautiful, like great use of that snippet roll, you know, really love using those collage pages. And yeah, I hope that you like them. I hope that you know, if you either made a snippet roll or the collage book, I hope that you've, you know, you're having fun. And yeah, hopefully see you guys soon. So thanks very much for joining me, and see you guys soon. Thanks then, stay safe. Bye.